February 25, 2005. A 60-year-old man pulls his Ford Taurus toward his house in Park City, Kansas. He is heading home for lunch. He is the president of his church council, a Boy Scout leader, a husband of 34 years. As he slows down, a line of unmarked cars boxes him in. Armed tactical agents drag him out. For 31 years, he outsmarted the FBI. He vanished like a ghost. Now, he is handcuffed on the asphalt, not because of DNA, not because of a witness. He destroyed his own decades of freedom with a 1.44 megabyte piece of plastic. Dennis Rader lived a life of mundane, aggressive compliance. He worked as an ordnance enforcement officer for Park City. He drove the streets with a tape measure, checking the height of his neighbor's grass. He wrote citations for stray dogs. He fined people for parking slightly on the sidewalk. He thrived on absolute, rigid control over the smallest details of other people's lives. That need for control did not stop at property lines. From 1974 to 1991, he terrorized the neighboring city of Wichita. 10 victims. He gave himself a 3-letter moniker. He mocked the police in local papers. Then, he simply went quiet. He faded into a quiet retirement of measuring lawns and organizing church bake sales. By 2004, Wichita had almost forgotten him. The unsolved files were gathering dust. Cold case detectives were retiring. Rader had won. He committed the perfect crimes and walked away. But a local lawyer announced he was writing a book about the unsolved murders. Rader read about it. His pride flared. He could not tolerate someone else controlling his narrative. He had to remind them who owned the dark. But there was one warning sign in the new millennium he completely ignored. Would you have stopped him if you'd noticed? Drop it in the comments. Ghost of the Grid runs on what you'd have caught. In March 2004, the letters resumed. A letter arrived at the Wichita Eagle containing a photocopy of a victim's driver's license. The city panicked. He was back. The police formed a task force. Rader escalated. He loved the game. Over the next 11 months, he dropped 11 different packages around the city. He left word puzzles in a cereal box. He taped a manila envelope to a signpost. He left a package inside a local Home Depot. He was running the city in circles, watching the news anchors tremble as they read his demands. But, you know, the world had changed since 1974. Surveillance cameras were everywhere. During the Home Depot drop, a camera caught a grainy image of a black Jeep Cherokee. Rader did not know about the camera, but he knew physical drops were getting risky. Driving around at night, taping boxes to poles, leaving packages in library return bins. He was 60 years old. He wanted the thrill of the cat-and-mouse game without the physical risk of the streets. He wanted a digital drop. On January 25, 2005, Rader dropped a Postum cereal box in a pickup truck. Inside was a typed letter. He asked the police a direct technical question. Can I communicate with floppy and not be traced to a computer? Be honest. He wanted to know if a floppy disk was safe. 2 weeks later, the Wichita police responded through a classified ad in the local paper. The message was simple. Rex, it will be okay. Rader read the paper. He smiled. He believed them. This is where it became clear that a man who spent his entire life exploiting the trust of strangers had a fatal weakness. He trusted his adversary. On February 16, 2005, a padded envelope arrived at a local television station. Inside was a purple 1.44 megabyte Memorex floppy disk. The station handed it over to the FBI. An agent slid the disk into a secure terminal. They did not search for deleted files. They did not use complex forensic decryption software. They simply opened the disk properties. Microsoft Word automatically embeds hidden metadata into every document created. Invisible digital fingerprints. The metadata on the purple disk showed the document had been saved by a user named Dennis. The software was registered to an organization, Christ Lutheran Church. The FBI typed the church name into a search engine. They clicked on the website. They scrolled down to the leadership page. Council President Dennis Rader. The address matched a house in Park City. Detectives drove past the house. Sitting in the driveway was a black Jeep Cherokee. The exact model from the Home Depot surveillance tape. Rader's master plan, his 31-year phantom act, unraveled in less than 3 minutes of a basic internet search. He lost everything in 72 hours because his ego demanded an audience. He survived for 3 decades by meticulously controlling the physical world. He wiped down crime scenes. He destroyed physical evidence. He lived a boring, invisible life. But he stepped into a digital landscape he fundamentally did not understand. He assumed the computer was just a typewriter with a glowing screen. He thought he was the smartest man in Kansas. He was undone by a line of code he could not even see. If you don't want to miss stories like this, subscribe. One descent at a time, on Ghost of the Grid. Dennis Rader traded his freedom for the chance to feel important one last time. He sent a purple disc to prove his brilliance, and it delivered him straight to a concrete cell for 10 consecutive life sentences. A monster caught by a machine. If this got to you, leave a like. It tells the algorithm Ghost of the Grid is worth surfacing.